Howdy, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do how to remove your gas tank, and we're going to do the air box on an 03, 04, but it's pretty generic amongst all bikes. Uh, Sizes of certain things might change, but overall, just generic how to remove a gas tank on a motorcycle, air box out of a motorcycle. I've done it on the ZX10. That one's got two bolts up there, where this one's only got one. So yeah, and I believe the bolt that went across on the back here that I'll show you later was the same size, but they're both Kawasaki's. That's an 04. This is an 03. It's pretty close in year, so it's not surprising that they're pretty similar. But again, that one's got two bolts, where this one's only got one up front. So let's jump into it. First off, you gotta get your seat off. This is gonna be different amongst every bike. So this one, I just take my back seat off on my ZX6. All right, and I got this. I absolutely love these bikes for this. So I just take this out. It's finger tight. It's never fallen out for me. So finger tight. Take this loose. Some people's might be a little tighter. Move that off to the side, and I can take that off. And this seat comes off. Right? Now on the ZX10, I have to take off this whole piece right here, which is, I forget if it's one or two. I believe the first gen, it's just one bolt holding them on up here. And then, yeah. And then back here and down here are two just press clips. I believe on this, I had a second gen ZX10, and I believe there's one here, and then there's one here that were bolts. As you see, that's broken from taking it on and off. And then there's just a press clip on the back, I believe, on the Gen 2. Don't quote me on that, but yeah, and this one's broken on the back. So be careful with them. Just a reason for me to buy carbon fiber ones. No, that little bit, it's not enough for me to care about these. So my legs are going to be on there. I don't stump the bike out, so it's not a problem. So then moving on, we're going to have a bolt here coming across the back of the tank. We're going to have a bolt up here. We find our size, I believe. It is this one. Should have checked ahead of time. Yeah, so it's just a 6 millimeter Allen up front. And it's a 10 millimeter. That's the right size. That's just a 10 millimeter in the back here. So I can get rid of that. And I'll do the back first. It doesn't matter what order you do them in. I've done it in both orders. It just doesn't matter. So I'm just going to do this. Boom, that one's out. Nothing too complicated, right? It just slides out. With your extra hand, you can lift up on the tank, pull it out. All right. Then you will have these two bushings in here, grommets, for vibration, stuff like that. They might fall out, not a huge deal. And we just got to take this one out here. And she's in there. So then we run over. We grab our ratchet. And we flip it to loosen. And we still struggle. Two hands. There we go. We bust our knuckles. We didn't bust our knuckle, but on the top here. So, yeah. So you loosen that up. I can't believe I tightened it down that much, but I did. So anyways, usually I prep ahead of time. I didn't realize I tightened it down this much. And that's how you take out all the bolts in the gas tank on these bikes. Now, I'm going to lift the gas tank up with two hands. Struggle here, right? And now I just got the gas tank kind of sitting here, kind of tipped, because we still got the fuel line attached to it. All right, so we got the fuel line, and then we got the wiring for the pump. This is the wiring for the pump, and this is the fuel line we got to take off. Turn the light on. So right here is the wiring, or not the wiring, the line. And there's going to be this gray piece right here. There's going to be one on the bottom and one on the top. All right, you just press them together. Typically, I have something to catch because it's going to leak out fuel. And then this, you're just going to press in on this clip with two hands. Press in on that, pull it apart. Simple. This one, just press them together. I can't quite get leverage on it like that. You press them two gray pieces together, and then it'll pop up. So you just, again, this and this, press them together. You know, they can be a bit of a pain. You might have to use pliers or something, maneuver the gas tank around, whatever to get it. Right. Now for the air box. You do not need to open up the air box to take the air box off. All right. If you're doing an air filter change or something, you'll have a bolt. You know, you can see all these Phillips screws. And then there's one down in here. But to take it off, you don't technically need to take this off. I guess you can just leave it hang by that, but you take that off, just press down on this top clip, and then it's again a 10 millimeter. And then you should be able to lift it off. All right? There's nothing holding the back on the gas tank, puts pressure on it, holds it down. And that's how you take off the air filter. That's how you take off your gas tank on an 03, 04 ZX6. If you need to get your throttle bodies out, let me try to find it on here. Oh. So right there is one of the screws, and it's the clamps. It's for these clamps. They go around the bottom. The boot, this one would be the back side. You'd have to access it from the back. Oh, that's not right. Oh, I see what happened. That's where I broke that one off. Yeah. And then the other one is right in here. So I got to get something in there. I got to pull that one out. I'll just get a magnet, pull it out, and it comes out. I forgot. I got these nifty little tips. So that I can get in there, but as you can see, this one's broken off. That's what's sticking out. So these come in handy. These really do work great for that. Don't over tighten these clamps. Obviously, it snaps them off. Then these throttle bodies come loose, and you got all sorts of different connections right there. So yeah, that's how to do that. And then you can just throw it back on because you're done with the demonstration and how to do it. Make sure that all of your spots line up. finger start this. Typically, I'd say just finger start everything because it's not going to hurt. Get it started straight and right. Throw that on before I forget because I've done that before. Then all of a sudden the bike is throwing me a code. Boom. Airbox back on. I can show you opening this up, but I think at this point it's pretty simple. Yeah. And I think when I do valves on this, we will do a whole valve cover gasket, how to remove that. You do not need to take and drop the motor. It is doable without that. I've done it, valve cover gasket on the ZX10, which is, trust me, harder than the ZX6. So if I can do it on that, you can do it. And then just putting the gas tank back on. Sits in there kind of sideways. Take the hose, put it back on, just pushes on. No special, you hear the click, it's good. And then the wiring harness to the pump, click it in. Resituate this. Grab your extra hose. It should be coming out down here. So we're going to run it through. Just take it, run it through here, through, up in here. I don't know if you could see it right here, moving. Right, I run it through there. It'll come out up here with any luck. It'll come out nicely. It is out. It's right in here. Take it out. Just like that. All right, now watch up here. You want to make sure that you're not getting any kind of pinch point. So, just like that. And then you can see it's here. Just shove it through right there. And that's how you reinstall it. Obviously, you got to put the bolt back in here. You got to put the bolt back in here. So this, we're just going to lift on the tank a little. Shoves in. Take that. Start it. I don't tighten that all the way down because if I tighten it too much, bit of a booger to get this situated sometimes. Just finger tight that. All right, it's fingered. It's fingered. And then you just tighten it down. Then you come to the back. And it doesn't matter which order you do these two. This is just the order I'm doing it. And then you tighten it down good. And then you throw your seat back on. Right? There's going to be this little lip right in here. Right there, that lip goes underneath this piece. So make sure that when you put it on, it goes underneath there and it sits down nice and flush. If you don't, it goes on pretty easy like that and it looks good. And you go to lock it in and it doesn't catch nothing, right? And it comes right off. So make sure you're under there. Make sure you lock it in. Come up here, lock it, and then always check your seat again. Front doesn't come up, back doesn't come up, you're good. I mean, I feel like putting the seat on is pretty self-explanatory, but I don't know. Maybe not everyone is that savvy. And then the back, just right on. Take that out. Throw it back where it belongs. And that's the simple how to do a gas tank and airbox remove on a 04 zx6r. It's pretty generic. You know, this one, it's got this cover you take off, and then it's got a bolt in there. It's got one back here. ZX10, same way. Grom, same thing. It's all the same. Dirt bike, I'm missing the bolt, but again, that, and then it's got an attachment on the back. So it's pretty just generic stuff. It's all the same. You can do one, you can do them all. Airboxes, again, are pretty much the same. Taking the airbox out of the ZX10, I do know that you had to do like a 90-degree twist to get, I think it was just the bottom out, because I think the top came out. Without the twist, but you did have to take the airbox, and I believe it only twisted to the right. So the front to the right, 90 degrees, then you can pull that out. And it had two little sleeves in there. This one doesn't have any sleeves in there. This one doesn't even have a ram system like that. So I've never even took the airbox out, but I know the airbox is completely different. And same thing with the Grom, completely different. Dirt bike, the airbox is actually right back there, that black piece. So airboxes can be a little different from model to model, how they come out, stuff like that. These actually come out really nice. That's about all I got. So you're trying to get under there, trying to figure it out, kind of nervous at first. Now you know how.